All right, welcome everybody to our Burlington High School graduation ceremony. I'd like to thank everybody for coming and supporting the class of 2020. Tonight we'll be hearing from our salutatorian Christian McNiven and our two valedictorians Sydney Olson and Jerem Davidson. Once again, I'd like to thank you all for coming and joining us in this celebration.
A number of years ago, there was a question asked to my class. What if someone told you they had a copy of every search you'd ever made in Google and would release it to the public unless you paid them a fee of $10 a month? What would you do? As I pondered this question, I realized the world has fundamentally changed in the time my classmates and I have been alive. We were born in the early 2000s when the internet, devices, and social media were in their infancy. Today, connectivity is nearly universal, along with its associated advantages and privacy intrusions. It can be sobering to think that there is a record of everything we've ever looked at or said on the internet, and that people who intend to do us harm could potentially use that information to cause us embarrassment. The question I would like to address is this: should we be careful in what we do and say because of the fear of embarrassment, or is there a better reason? I believe there is a better reason, and that reason is character. The late John Huntsman Sr., a successful businessman leader, All right. The late John Huntsman Sr., a successful business leader in the chemical industry, said, "There are no moral shortcuts in the game of business or life. There are three basic types of people: the unsuccessful, the temporarily successful, and those who become and remain successful. To me, to have character means that we do the right thing even when no one is watching, and even if it will cause us temporary setbacks. It means that people can trust us to do what we say we will do. It means that we will do our best to fix the mistakes we've made. The measure of success in our lives will not be our wealth or possessions. Rather, it'll be the character that is developed over a lifetime." Thank you.
Hi everyone! Last week at this time, we had all of these speeches recorded. I decided to write mine as if I were a YouTuber with tons of jump cuts. Now it's going to be a little more traditional, unless you guys use your imaginations. As we've been asked to stay at home for the last couple months, I've had some time to reflect on my class and the time we've spent together over the past 12 years. Tonight, I wanted to talk about some of the life lessons that I've personally learned about my classmates over the years. For example, watching Jerem chase and set the school record in the mile last year showed me that through hard work and determination, you can overcome any obstacle that comes your way. Not only is he the school record holder, he is also the only 12-sport athlete in our grade. I think we all saw the same determination in the classroom as well. He never stops until he has the grades he wants. And it paid off when he was awarded the Trustees Fund for the University of Wyoming. Every time I had trouble on an assignment, he was always there to help me. Sometimes I was even tempted to put his name next to mine on some of those assignments. But really, I know that I wouldn't be giving this speech today if it weren't for him and his patience with me. Will and I have done hundreds of stunts over the past 4 years. I'm sure that many of you have seen our stunts at games and maybe even seen us stumble a little. But even since our freshman year, I've always trusted that Will would be there to catch me when I fell. We always need someone like that in our lives, someone to rely on and who picks us up when we need it. This might be a family member or a good friend, but we should all strive to be that person in someone else's life. The lesson I want to share about Adrian is this: just because you can grow a beard doesn't always mean you should. Just kidding, he pulled it off okay. But seriously, Adrian is the perfect example of someone who pursues their passion. From the time he was little, Adrian always knew he wanted to work around cars. I remember being on the playground while he would tell us about every type of car while I sat there pretending to be interested. He never let anything get in the way of his goal, and we should all learn this lesson from Adrian, to choose what we love and pursue it relentlessly. Christian spent a good part of last year training to become an EMT in our community. A lot of us didn't even know he was doing this until he was finished. This is a good example of who Christian is as a person. He is always dedicated to making other people's days a little bit better. Even if it's just a simple compliment or a hey in the hallway. Whether it is something small like that or something more serious like performing CPR, he is always willing to give up his own time for the benefit of others. The world relies on selfless people like Christian to sacrifice their time for other people. At prom last year, I spilled sparkling apple cider all over Sienna's prom dress. I felt like such a horrible person, but Sienna instantly forgave me, laughed it off, and told me that it was no big deal. It seems small, but she is an amazing example of someone who can make you feel happy and comfortable. Especially now with everything that's going on, we should all take Sienna's approach and accept that not everything is going to go our way. But we can always have control over our own attitudes and choose to not let these things affect us. You cannot find a single person in the entire school who doesn't like Sarah. She gets along with everyone, and you always seem to be smiling when you're having a conversation with her. Sarah never has a bad thing to say about anyone, and she never seems to be complaining. Wouldn't it be nice if we could all be like her, where people could say that about us? That an unkind word never leaves our mouth. Alora is so funny, and I love her sense of humor. It would be amazing to go through life and always look at the bright side of things. Even when we had boring assignments or spent long hours setting up for dances, she always found something to laugh at and made these long hours seem short. Alora and I always joke about the funny things that we see on Instagram, and everything just seems a little funnier when we talk. I strive to go through life like Alora does, always looking to make others laugh and smile. I've had the chance to play with and watch Anna compete in sports for the past 7 years. Something I've noticed about her is how she doesn't care about being in the spotlight. What matters to her is helping her team in whatever way that she can, even behind the scenes. I don't think volleyball is her favorite sport, but she still went out for it all 7 years because her teammates needed her. In basketball, she was just as happy to make the game-winning assist as she was to make the game-winning shot. Anna is just always where she needs to be. In life, we shouldn't care so much about who gets the credit, but rather just making sure that we are where we need to be and that the job gets done. Allison is constantly amazing people with her talents. She is very expressive, and she is not afraid to show her creativity in and out of the classroom. I've done dance lessons with her, cheered with her, seen her paint her jeans, and paint her bedroom door. And I am always impressed with her makeup skills. She can turn anything into a masterpiece. The world really would be a boring place without people like Allison to give it color. So for me, even though missing our senior trip, prom, musical, and traditional graduation has been hard, it has helped me appreciate my class a little more without not being able to go to school with them. I've been so lucky to go to school with these guys for all of these years, and I will take these lessons that I've learned from them and use them throughout my own life. I've enjoyed reflecting on these past 12 years together and for the chance to put together the senior movie for them. I'm really excited to see what they all choose to do in the future. In my original video, this is where I would tell you to like and subscribe, but instead I will leave you with a different invitation. Be driven like Jerem, reliable like Will, passionate like Adrian, selfless like Christian, forgiving like Sienna, positive like Sarah, lighthearted like Alora, a good teammate like Anna, creative like Allison, and most of all, be a great speechwriter like me. Congratulations to my classmates, and thank you.
Well, howdy, everybody. I think usually people save the best for last, but it's obviously not true in this case. With all this coronavirus lately, things have been pretty tough for all of us, I think. Definitely miss seeing all my classmates and teachers' beautiful faces at school. But I have gone fishing every single day, so it's a toss-up between the good and the bad. I guess I'd like to start off by thanking all of our amazing teachers and staff here at Burlington. You have provided our class with a great education that few other places could give to us. Also, a big thank you to all of our parents, siblings, aunts, uncles, grandmas and grandpas, and any other family members who have always supported us. Our class has been together for a long time, most of us since preschool, or at least since some point in elementary. And somewhere along the way, we either learned to get along, or at least not to kill each other. This past year, with all of our planning and things going on, I don't think that we fought about a single thing. We were mostly nonchalant about everything, which I guess is a good thing. Mr. George sure enjoyed that, I think. And I guess I'd like to give y'all some advice from one of my favorite people, John Wayne, since I'm not qualified to give any of my own, I guess. But he said, "Tomorrow hopes that we have learned something from yesterday." And I thought it would be appropriate to list a few people who learned from their yesterdays and made their tomorrows better. First is Michael Jordan. MJ didn't make his starting varsity team when he was a sophomore in high school, but used his disappointment for fuel for the rest of his basketball career. He went on to win the national championship with his North Carolina college basketball team, 6 NBA titles, 5 MVPs, 10 scoring titles, 2 Olympic gold medals, was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame, and earned the label of not only the greatest basketball player ever, but one of the greatest athletes of all time. Next is J.K. Rowling. Rowling was a single, jobless mother who, when she sent her idea for the famous Harry Potter series, was rejected by 12 different publishers before one finally accepted her idea. The Harry Potter series has now been translated into 73 languages, sold millions of copies, and earned over $20 billion. And then Thomas Edison. Edison tried over 3,000 ideas before he finally found the one that would be the precursor to the light bulbs that we use today. And Abraham Lincoln. Our 16th president was defeated in 26 campaigns for public office before he was finally elected for president. He'd gone bankrupt twice and had numerous failed businesses before becoming the man who would lead our country through civil war. And last of all is Beethoven. When he was young, Beethoven was told that he was too stupid to become a music composer, and in later years would become completely deaf. However, this did not stop him from composing numerous symphonies and from becoming one of the greatest composers of all time. I hope that as a class, we can look back on our yesterdays and use what we have learned to make our tomorrows better. And I'd like to end with Dr. Seuss's poem, Oh, the Places You'll Go. Congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places, you're off and away. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own and you know what you know, and you are the guy who will decide where you'll go. You'll look up and down streets, look them over with care. About some you will say, I don't choose to go there. But with your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down any not so good street. And you may not find any you'll want to go down. In that case, of course, you'll head straight out of town. It's opener there in the wide open air. Out there things can happen, and frequently do, to people as brainy and footsy as you. And when things start to happen, don't worry, don't stew. Go right along, you'll start happening too. Oh, the places you'll go. So to the class of 2020, thanks for the memories. I wish you all well as we move forward to chase our goals and dreams, and good luck with your tomorrows. Now we're going to hear from the parents of the graduates, and we'll go in the opposite order that the graduates are listed on the back of the program. So we'll start with Mr. Wardell.
So, I'm not sure if I'm ready for this, but spoiler alert, where does the time go? For most of these graduating seniors, they have spent the last 12 or 13 years right here in this setting. They've lived and seen a lot of things in their 18 or so years. And regrettably, in some of these last couple of months, some very difficult and upsetting things require a lot of adaptation. Allison's very much a book reader. The introduction gives you a good idea of what you're going to do, but the good part of the book is in the middle. So even though you're completing this first chapter of your life, you've got an entire book ahead of you, and that's where all the good stuff's going to be. So I know you're not ready to write the ending, but you're going to be living the middle. It's a small class, a mighty class, very diverse class. Even the twins aren't exactly the same, are you? So one thing Allison has always pointed out is that it takes diversity and to not be judgmental, to accept people for who they are and be able to lift where you are. Sometimes, as Allison learned, you have a hero that bails you out of a hard time, and sometimes there may be people that you are able to be the hero to and to help them through a difficult time. Be respectful of others. Show gratitude to those who have helped you to this point in your lives, and be prepared to move forward, recognizing the good that others do for you. Success is built upon work, and failure only comes when you quit. Always be aware of your surroundings and help where you can. Stick to your principles and your values. And when you ask 20 years from now, where does the time go? I can tell you it goes by quickly. Enjoy your life. Enjoy the moments that you have as you make new friends, as you experience new things while remembering the past but looking forward to the future. Good luck, and we'll miss you walking the halls and seeing you in your sporting events and musicals and other activities, but we know you'll do wonderful, great things in the future.
Well, thanks, Autumn, for the moral support. We drew straws. This was kind of short notice for me to get up here and say anything about this class. And when I was thinking about all the experiences that this school has provided for my family, there was a situation back when I think these kids were maybe too little to remember me. I don't know if it was kindergarten or first grade. I was asked to come into an activity, I think in the music class. I don't know what I was doing here that day, actually. But I do remember very clearly being blindfolded and being asked to identify from this group of kids, their voices, which one was mine.
So we thought that we should do that to the parents today. We're going to blindfold you, and then your kid will say something, and you identify which one is yours.
No. I don't think we're going to do that. Might have been a lot easier for me back, I guess that's 10, 11 years ago now, to tell my children apart. You
got it.
Yeah, I guess I did. Really excited for each and every one of you to move along past these past 12 years, and good luck with all your future endeavors.
I'm excited for you.
I guess we never really talked about who this was going to be either, but I had a feeling maybe at the last minute it might be me. This is a couple of weeks ago, the kids, we were trying to decide what to get their mom for Mother's Day, and we decided let's go through the pictures, get like one of those little digital frames that that have been around for a few years, but we've never had one. Let's find all the pictures of of mom holding the babies and everything that way. And as we started looking through those, we thought, this thing can hold a lot more pictures. Let's try to find some other ones. And then eventually it came to the point where let's find every picture that we've ever taken from any camera, any phone, send them in. We'll go down, find the old computers out of the basement, and we'll find every last picture and put them on there. As we were looking through these pictures, it was interesting. The ones that we were focused in on, especially the ones that I focused on, weren't the ones that were taken by professional photographers or the school pictures where everybody's being told to smile. But I just love the snapshots, just the little points of our life and watching our kids grow up. And it was always, sometimes they weren't always smiling, sometimes they were crying. We had a lot of pictures. But it seems like those are the moments that we really wanted to focus on and try to remember those stories from. I always thought the greatest invention that anybody could ever invent would be one that you could just go ahead and just push a button and jump inside that photo and relive that experience, whatever that time was for 4 or 5 minutes. I just thought that would be wonderful, and those would be those ones. But it was always those pictures, those little snapshots of daily life that at the time probably didn't mean anything, but now really do. Looking at just like Richard said, time just goes by, and you've got to really remember that it's all the times. It's the whole journey of life that you want to remember. It's the good times and the bad times. What I'd give now to go back, and to jump inside that photo frame, and a lot of you knew that Sydney, when she was little, really had some really, really bad eczema, and those would be those times. We took pictures of those, and what I'd give now to go back 5 minutes and rub that lotion on her arms, or to try to calm down, or tell her not to scratch, or it's those ones where you think, those days where a lot of times you just think, there's nothing there, but there really is. And that would be my advice, is to enjoy the journey, even during tough times. I wanted so bad to take you guys to Washington, D.C. and to New York a couple months ago, and that was just so hard to see that. It was interesting as we were coming to that conclusion that we wouldn't be going. As soon as, of course, your first instincts is, I think I can make it. I think I'll be healthy. I think I can do it. It's only affecting, certain people that are, older, and I think we can do it. But as soon as they were told, you could be easily the carriers, you could be the ones that might not show symptoms but get other people sick, then it wasn't even a discussion after that. These kids knew that was something that they needed to bypass, and so even those types of memories are going to be important to you in the long run. But because you'll fill your lives with good times and with bad times, but don't forget the bad times. There's those are going to be some great memories too, and just to enjoy every minute is of your future, and that's my advice to you. Thanks.
It's not every day you get to come up here in front of the whole school in the world. So when we got the email, I read it, and Tony was like, "Not me, please, not me." And then Sarah said, "Please don't embarrass me." So I prepared a song. No, I would never sing to you guys. That would be horrible. The one thing that really strikes me today is with Sarah, her dedication, her whole life, to watch out for the kid who doesn't fit in, to watch out for the kid who needs a little bit of protecting. And that's an incredible example to me, and this is harder than I thought it would be. And so Sarah, thank you for that. I appreciate that example. And in your class, I appreciate the example that you guys have all been, and the influence that you've all been on each other. You've had some rough times, but like one of the other parents said, it was Jerem, we didn't kill each other. So good job and congratulations. We love you all.
Okay, I'm short. You guys all need to turn around and face the other way so I'm not so nervous. All right, this is for Sienna and for all of you. Sienna, you came into this world on your own terms. Sorry. I'm not going to read that part. Some words of advice. First and foremost, Sienna, stay away from sharp objects and watch the road signs. Take time to explore and travel. Take the road less traveled, even though you might get lost, and it may take you twice as long. Call home, or at least text once in a while. Laugh often, and it's okay to cry too. Always be prepared. Don't be afraid to meet new people. Work hard, but don't forget to play. Just don't get arrested. Everyone does embarrassing things. It's okay. Don't be afraid to ask for help. It's okay to make mistakes. Be a leader. Be nice, even when it's hard. Be smart. It's okay to get mad. And most important, we will always be here for you. And you can come home anytime. Just be sure to call first. We love you.
Christian told me if I tried to embarrass him, he wouldn't share his steak with me that he got as a graduation present. So I guess I'll try to be nice. Sydney, I thought that was one of the best graduation speeches I've heard. Christian and Jeremy, you did good too, but Sydney, I thought you did exceptional. If you want to be popular with the parents, say something nice about their kids. You did a great job. And I think all of that was accurate. I can relate to some of these graduates, especially Adrian. When I was a kid, I knew exactly what I wanted to be too. I wanted to do something with airplanes. I wanted to be a pilot. And as I did my pilot training, there was one particular training video. It was a husband-wife team, John and Martha King. They're fairly famous in the flying world. And at the end of their videos, they always did this kind of stand-up comedy routine. And I'm not a comedy routine, so this won't be funny for you. But the gist of it was they would stand up there and say, "We wish that you'll have great experience and knowledge as a pilot." This was Martha talking, the wife, and John would come up and say, No, Martha, don't wish them great experience and knowledge. Do you have any idea how you get great experience and knowledge? And he's like, well, no. How do you get great experience and knowledge? Well, you get great experience and knowledge when you fly by messing up. Almost dying. You don't want to almost die and mess up, but that's the only way you can get great experience and knowledge. That's always stuck with me of all those training videos. That's what I remember is we all want great experience and knowledge, but the only way to get great experience and knowledge is to make mistakes. It's hard. The final thing they would say, and I think this applies to you graduates, this applies to airplanes mostly, but think of this in your life. Keep the shiny side up, the dirty side down, and by all means, please stay out of the trees.
You guys are kind of a hard act to follow. Wow. try to cram 18 years into 2 or 3 minutes. It's kind of hard. Sydney's right, and Dawn's right. Adrian's always had an addiction to cars. We could take him to Walmart, park him in the aisle by the Matchbox cars or the Hot Wheels, go do our shopping. We could be gone an hour, come back. He's still sitting on his feet, on his knees, comparing every single car. So we're ready to go. He's saying, I haven't decided yet. We pick out one that we like. Nope, I don't like the wheels. I don't like the wheels. So then he gets in junior high, or somewhere in there. He graduated to collector cars, a little bit bigger, a little bit more expensive. Still, it's the wheels. It's got to have good wheels. Well, now he's got a whole yard full of big people cars. Still likes the wheels. If it doesn't have good wheels, it's not worth having. Adrian's always liked people, animals, tagging along with Grandpa, and cars. Probably the best thing that could have happened to him was being able to work with Craig. It's been really, really good for him. For all of you seniors, I want to borrow some words from Tim McGraw. Hold the door, say please, say thank you, don't steal, don't cheat, don't lie. Those kind of things, those things follow you forever, whether it's the good things or the not good things, they follow you. Tim said, I know you've got mountains to climb, but always stay humble and kind. Being humble means that you do things for people just to do them, not because you think you'll get a reward back or you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart. You don't expect anything in return. Being kind isn't hard. Take a minute to say hi and smile at that old geezer down in front of the store. Even if he is grouchy, one of these days he'll smile first. He'll be the first one that says hi. Be honest. Don't steal, don't lie, don't cheat. Those are pitfalls. They last forever. Smiles are contagious. Share them with everyone. Most of all, be happy. Life isn't always sunshine and roses. You might stub your toe now and then. You might even fall and skin your knee. You can curse. You can blame the rock. You can get up and kick it. Or you can get up and brush yourself off and carry on. You'll get where you're going faster if you smile. Don't waste time finding fault. Bend a little. Keep going. Keep your goals in front of you. You've all finished this part of your book. Go out and write the rest of it. Make it a bestseller.
Well, I'd like to just start off by congratulating all of you. You have finally made it here to graduation day. Never thought that it would happen. Never thought that my baby would be graduating. As I got thinking about what I wanted to say today, I think back to when Will was just a little boy. And he was always a big kid. He always had great strength. And he always liked lifting things up. And I have found that you're like that now, Will. You have great strength. You like lifting people up. And if you'll continue to do that throughout the rest of your life, all of you, you'll get somewhere. Remember who you are and the things that matter most to you. I know that this is a hard time in your life when new beginnings are just happening and you really don't know what's going to happen in your life. You're kind of scared, you're nervous, you're excited. But just remember who you are today and keep growing to be a better person, and you'll make it to where you need to go. Just remember that we're proud of you. Will, I'm very proud of you for the person that you have become. And I know that your dad is very proud of you too. And he loves you very much. Thanks. You should all be happy to know that I had a little crying session earlier this afternoon, so I will not torture you with my tears right now. That's over. I had about a million things running through my mind, what I might say today, but I'll keep it short because I know we all want to get over to Pal, right? Just a quick little something to share about Jerem. He's the youngest in his family, so we're kind of done with this kid thing at our house, and we'll have just adult children now, which is a good thing. But Jerem has, being the youngest, I don't know that that's been an easy thing for him growing up. He's wanted to kind of live up, or whatever you want to say, to his older brothers and sisters. He's always wanted to be smart, like Joseph. He's wanted to be athletic, like Dallin. He's wanted to be social, like Sam. He's wanted to be sweet, like James, and he's wanted to be cute, like Julie. And it's hard to be all of those things. But what I'm happy about is that Jerem is who he is. When Dallin went to school, it was just Jerem and me for a couple of years. And then when Dallin left home, it was just Jerem and me. Oh dear. And so, I don't know how Jerem feels, but for me, that's been a blessing. And he's been a good friend to me. And I think that relationship will continue. Jerem has always wanted success, and he's worked hard in a lot of ways to be successful. Track or grades or whatever it is. And I was thinking about success and what that really means. And success could come in a lot of ways for you guys. It could be a lot of initials behind your name after years of school. It could be a lot of money. It could be a big family. But I think I'm with Sandy, who says, be kind. That's how we really be successful. We be kind, and we be honest, and we be humble. And we put others before ourselves. And I think no matter what else happens in your life, if you're that kind of person, then I think that's the most successful you could possibly be. I'm thankful to know of each of you. I'm thankful for your good examples to me and to my family. And I wish you all the success in the world. Thank you.
All right, we'll finish up here so we can head to Pal. Actually, what Margaret's really worried about is now it's just her and me. She's, I saw some notes there in her journal of ideas of how to keep Matt occupied. I'm a little worried as well. So, yeah, class of COVID-19, right? 2020. We're proud of you. It was nice to hear from your folks and grandmother, and I hope that you'll always look to those roots, because of who you are and who you ever become will be in a large part because of those who came before. And that could be the next generation, your parents or your grandparents or your great-grandparents. But be true to your roots, and continue those family traditions as you go on out and begin your own. So it's my privilege, families, Superintendent Smith and our school board representative, Mr. Bassett, to present the class of 2020 and certify that they've met the requirements to graduate based on the state of Wyoming, Bighorn County School District number 1, and Burlington High School. That's a great accomplishment, and congratulations. We're going to present the diplomas now. Our Superintendent Smith is going to come up to read those names. As he does that, we'll do it one by one. We'll hand you the diploma, do a elbow bump or something, and then you can grab a flower for your mother and your grandmother if you have a grandmother that you're getting one for. Okay. Thank you, everyone that has helped this class to succeed. It's taken all of us, and they're a great group of individuals. Superintendent?
Well, class of 2020, congratulations. The time has come. You're not ready, I'm sure. We could drag this on for a little while. I could talk for a little while, but I won't, I promise you. So, but it's my privilege today to announce these graduates and have them come forward to get their diploma. So, we'll start with Jerem Stanley Davidson. Good job.
You guys did. I think you go down that way.
Christian Sean McNiven. Congratulations. Sydney Taylor Olson. Good job. Nice job. Milana Anwin Tempany. Congratulations. Alora Gwendolyn Tempany. Congratulations. Allison Wardell. Congratulations. Sienna Vivian Neves. Congratulations. Adrian Tyrese House. Congratulations. Sarah Evelyn Nicholson. Congratulations. And William Scott Duncan III. Congratulations, buddy. Nice job.
So congratulations, class of 2020. We may now transfer our tassels.